Gnomes are everywhere. They're in our walls, on our internet, and they're stealing our green screens to use as capes. But what are gnomes? Are they garden protectors? Are they mischievous, benevolent souls? Or are they just humans who you can punt? For me, what defines a gnome is a whimsical sense of adventure, rummaging around through the trash, tripping an enemy off of a ledge, or experimenting with a tool in an odd and unexpected way. No, not like that. Leaning into the gnome inside can unlock a joy so deep that you'll never want to go back. So today on Blurbs, let's look at the games that unleash the gnome in us all. What is a goose but a gnome with feathers, a beak, and a dash of demonic intent? A cup of demonic intent. The Untitled Goose Game allows us to spread our gnome wings as we scamper through backyards, stealing important wares and tormenting the young. The goose and the gnome will never cause actual physical harm, but both can dish out minor annoyances to last a lifetime. In Untitled Goose Game, the goose stands about gnome height as it is tasked with causing everyday people to step on rakes, cry in phone booths, and get locked out of their own gardens. At times it starts to feel mischievous and evil, but then you remember one thing. It's really funny, and now I'm gonna get back to it. Doing it across the backyards of a quaint English village also helped to immerse you in that gnome-style cottagecore, making it the perfect gnome game. But Grounded and It Takes Two both have one mechanic which helped the player feel like a gnome.
Short.
Shrinking the player down in this manner does help to contextualize things in a gnome fashion, as spiders, squirrels, and wasps become monoliths of destruction, making your height hindrance feel like a huge factor. It's nuts how big that squirrel is. I'm gonna let myself out. As the backyard you inhabit balloons in size, but these games also force you to think like a gnome when defending yourself against them. You hobble together weapons from mushrooms and sticks, you work together with others to come up with clever solutions, and ultimately most of the time you just run away because what the hell am I supposed to do? That thing's huge. Shrinking the player down and forcing them to fend for themselves propagates a gnome feeling unlike any other. But Katamari Damacy is another example of a game that evokes this gnome essence, as our protagonist rolls a weird orb across the game's landscape. What's he doing? I don't know. Why is he doing it? I don't know. But is it kind of a gnome-like thing? Yeah, I guess. This guy's getting up to some stuff, and it's fun to push a little orb around, collecting all the items and bystanders that may be in your path. You cause a little mischief, you have a little fun, and then you talk about the next game, that being Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. While all of Link's adventures may be applicable in the gnome zone, Link's Awakening is definitely the best suited for this description. There are so many reasons for this, from the whole thing being set in a dream to the wacky characters and odd world you explore. The story is driven through phone calls, and Link is even shorter and more scrunched down, giving him a gnome look. It also represents more of the fantasy side of gnomes, which the other games on this list haven't. Ultimately, taking this adventure around the egg-capped island is a whimsical and mystical experience. You get immersed in its weirdness, and you full head dive into Link's gnome-like qualities. It can be fun to delve into the forest and the backyard's most fun-loving little monster. So the next time you have a hankering to unleash the gnome inside, check out all these games, as they can scratch the itches of comic mischief, enchanting mystery, and being short. And isn't that what it's all about anyway?